As the party endured another rather uncomfortable transference through dimensions, they came to a rather immediate, unanimous, and unspoken agreement that this was all the cat's fault. It all began, you see, about 4 days ago, just outside the ancient abandoned gnomish city now known as Exile's End, which was 2 days' hike northwestwards of their beachhead in the northern wastelands at Rekka's Edge. It was in this land of tall shadows that the party met with a small flock of Sylvanestry refugees exploring the northern wastelands, led by a mage they called Jelzuel. The refugees were religious fanatics on a pilgrimage to forge a new eternity crystal. Whatever their intentions may have been, they seemed to view Bubo as a great omen and natural ally. Thus aligned, the party was invited to observe the Ceremony of Cycles, a secret elven resurrection ritual that involved the sacred heart seed from a branch of Zivalin. After the resurrection, Ali opened her celestial tome, and it was at this moment that the cat jumped down from Ali's shoulders and onto the open book in her hands, causing her to drop it and leaving her clasping a single page torn from its arcane bindings. What followed was a series of rather unfortunate events, beginning with the death of Thaddeus Turnpike, followed immediately by a disconcerting journey through planes of existence, and leaving the party finding themselves in the Fey Wilds, which itself is a story best left to tell another time, as much of it is beyond credulity for those of us who live among the speechless fauna of Kryn. Suffice to say, the party were able to recover the lost page from Ali's book, and now find themselves back in the material plane, at the exact place and moment when Ali was about to open the book, which would fall and have its page ripped out because of the cat, which would result in the death of Thad and lead the party into the Fey realm, onward and always in a cycle forever. And so, the party stands at the dais moments before a darkness is about to descend. Even though it is now in their future, they all remember the smoky abyss and the words that rumbled from the shadows.
I had to see for myself these reports of one last true-born of the dragons. What are you doing with the lost construct? I must say at first I almost thought what the others do. That you had betrayed your namesake and allied with the mammal. But I remember your line, Tiamaticus. And I know your kind are clever. Always a fate within a fate. Do you assume to gain our queen's favor by bringing her this timber?
As the party endured another rather uncomfortable transference through dimensions, they came to a rather immediate, unanimous, and unspoken agreement that this was all the cat's fault. It all began, you see, about 4 days ago, just outside the ancient abandoned gnomish city now known as Exile's End, which was 2 days' hike northwestwards of their beachhead in the northern wastelands at Rekka's Edge. It was in this land of tall shadows that the party met with a small flock of Sylvanestry refugees exploring the northern wastelands, led by a mage they called Jelzuel. The refugees were religious fanatics on a pilgrimage to forge a new eternity crystal. Whatever their intentions may have been, they seemed to view Bubo as a great omen and natural ally. Thus aligned, the party was invited to observe the Ceremony of Cycles, a secret elven resurrection ritual that involved the sacred heart seed from a branch of Zivelin. After the resurrection, Arlie opened her celestial tome, and it was at this moment that the cat jumped down from Arlie's shoulders and onto the open book in her hands, causing her to drop it and leaving her clasping a single page torn from its arcane bindings. What followed was a series of rather unfortunate events, beginning with the death of Thaddeus Turnpike, followed immediately by a disconcerting journey through planes of existence, and leaving the party finding themselves in the Fey Wilds, which itself is a story best left to tell another time, as much of it is beyond credulity for those of us who live among the speechless fauna of Kryn. Suffice to say, the party were able to recover the lost page from Arlie's book, and now find themselves back in the material plane, at the exact place and moment when Arlie was about to open the book, which would fall and have its page ripped out because of the cat, which would result in the death of Thad and lead the party into the Fey realm, onward and always in a cycle forever. And so, the party stands at the dais moments before a darkness is about to descend. Even though it is now in their future, they all remember the smoky abyss and the words that rumbled from the shadows.
Tiamaticus. I had to see for myself these reports of one last true-born of the dragons. What are you doing with the lost construct? I must say at first I almost thought what the others do. That you had betrayed your namesake and allied with the mammal. But I remember your line, Tiamaticus. And I know your kind are clever. Always a fate within a fate. Do you assume to gain our queen's favor by bringing her this tin man? You are too late. Her tragic lover already took from it all that it is worth.
As the party endured another rather uncomfortable transference through dimensions, they came to a rather immediate, unanimous, and unspoken agreement that this was all the cat's fault. It all began, you see, about 4 days ago, just outside the ancient abandoned gnomish city now known as Exile's End, which was 2 days' hike northwestwards of their beachhead in the northern wastelands at Rekka's Edge. It was in this land of tall shadows that the party met with a small flock of Sylvanestry refugees exploring the northern wastelands, led by a mage they called Jelzuel. The refugees were religious fanatics on a pilgrimage to forge a new eternity crystal. Whatever their intentions may have been, they seemed to view Bubo as a great omen and natural ally. Thus aligned, the party was invited to observe the Ceremony of Cycles, a secret elven resurrection ritual that involved the sacred heart seed from a branch of Zivelin. After the resurrection, Arlie opened her celestial tome, and it was at this moment that the cat jumped down from Ali's shoulders and onto the open book in her hands, causing her to drop it and leaving her clasping a single page torn from its arcane bindings. What followed was a series of rather unfortunate events, beginning with the death of
To Thaddeus's titles.
Just silence, and all of us like, hi.
On any of us.
Let's do this.
Oh no.
It's almost like I've never done this before. Now I can
mean,
see
are
my
you-
audio levels. We're
You're
back.
really not that important to the game, though. I mean,
We're
No,
back.
yeah.
Actually, you know what? It'd be really interesting to play a game of D&D where like the audience can't hear the DM; they can just hear the players, and so they're just like listening to the players like freaking out or being like, "What?" And then, yeah,
I'm just
it'd be almost like
arguing.
life.
I think it should be a D4.
Yeah. What do you mean? How much damage?
You just see the rolls occurring, and they're like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, it would get
Yeah.
far too much like life. It's just because life is just playing against a silent DM, basically. Let's get started. No one's heard me in the audience. The recording has nothing captured of my voice. But we are all here. Everyone is here, and I want to get started with a little bit of a previously on. We're going to go through 5 chapters of the adventure, this grand epic that our players have gone through, starting with a prologue, where Arlie, Thad, Bubo, and Aelric met aboard the last flight of the Weathertop airship, which was attacked by a bronze dragon, which was chasing a black-cloaked wizard smuggling a dragon egg. And that is my long and short of the prologue. I don't know if anyone wants to add anything to that or correct it. Going to give a moment. Sounds good. That was our
Yeah,
prologue.
sure.
That was pre-campaign. After some time, we go into chapter 1, where our tale began in a quaint village of Vogler, a distant village at the edge of the kingdom. A somber gathering marks the passage of Ibsen Greenshield, whose funeral draws an unexpectedly small crowd of 5 brave souls. Bubo the Owlin, Thaddeus Turnpike, initiate wizard of the towers, Aelric Tiamaticus, last of his people, Juniper Arlie Candlewick III, cleric of Zivelin, and Harold Grey, halfling. At the funeral, Arlie was bequeathed with Ibsen's green shield, and the party soon found themselves defending the town from an encroaching army and aiding Vogler's citizens in a harrowing escape downriver. It was in this defense of Vogler that Aelric, Bubo, Harold, and Thaddeus were first touched by Zivelin. That was chapter 1 of our grand adventure. That was a year ago or more, which is kind of crazy to think about. And it was offline, so you can't find the archives. Sucks to be you, audience. It was actually good for us because we would all be embarrassed. Chapter 3, the Legion. Chapter 2, I'm skipping a chapter, Calaman. Our party escapes, leading them to the bustling port city of Calaman, nestled between the twisted blight of the northern waste and the ghostly hauntings of Nightlund. The party negotiated with military officials and accepted a contract as special operatives in Calaman's military. Thaddeus receives arcane medallions bearing the markings of the World Tree from a local Arcana, a representative of the Wizard's Towers, an ancient and powerful witch calling herself Wyan. Their special missions for Calaman led them to save besieged gnomes and turn the tides at Wheelwatch Outpost against draconian foes. After these
Gnomes.
the gnomes. After these daring operations, the party returned to find Calaman under the spell of betrayal, a doomed offensive sent out at the urging of Lord Bacaris. Boo! It's like one of
Boo.
those,
Yeah,
boo!
boo, Yeah.
Our heroes assisted the routing Calaman forces of this failed offensive and brought the traitorous Lord Bacaris back to the city council for justice. And that was chapter 2, Calaman, which led us all the way up to, I want to say, August of last year, 2023. Also still offline, so, that's all you get. Chapter 3, the Legion Construct. The party arrived at the council's chambers to find them all murdered by an ancient undead Solamnic knights. The party also finds themselves having stumbled upon the attempted theft of an inert yet mysterious and glittery, gnomish automatonic construct known as Legion. The party thwarts the theft of the construct, but the would-be thief, a powerful Death Knight, tears from the construct's face one of the celestial crystals and escapes by leaping from a window onto a massive dragon. The local arcana, Wyhan, arrives, and Thad, for reasons that remain his own, seizes opportunity of the sudden power vacuum and declares conquest of Calaman in his family's name, the Turnpikes. Bubo and Harold disagreed with how to deal with Lord Bacaris. Harold would see him killed. Bubo urges more formal justice. The Legion construct wakes up and urges the necessity of returning the lost Eternity Crystal to its matrix. Wyhan reveals that many years ago, along with Ispin and others, she journeyed to the Northern Waste to retrieve this same construct. Wyhan's fellowship had hid the construct in Calaman, and Wyhan had remained in Calaman to ensure its secrecy and protection. The Legion construct is able to express its function to the party. It contains, embedded in its form, of the sum total, eternally complete and all-encompassing definitions of gods. Furthermore, it can verify that the stolen Eternity Crystals contains the goddess Takesis, also known as Tiamat, Queen of Dragons, Mother of Chaos, the Insatiable. Legion and Wyhan confirm that the Legion construct was forged before the Cataclysm in what are now the Northern Wastelands, originally the homelands of the gnomes. And that is Chapter 3, the Legion construct. Chapter 4 is the Northern Wastes. With little more than centuries-old information, the party prepared an expeditionary force to journey into the arcane fallout of the Northern Wastelands. Somewhere in that blight lies the power to forge this Legion construct and bind the gods into its being. It stands to reason that there must therefore lie the power to repair Legion, should they recover the lost crystal. Unfortunately, that same power could plausibly destroy the stolen crystal and unleash Tiamat. What to do? Sometimes, when you don't have enough information, you need to start pursuing anything, even if it's bad. Because on the journey there, you probably would find a better option that you hadn't even thought of in the first place. Quoted Arlie, referencing an obscure dwarven mathematician and philosopher-poet named Archimedes. And it was these words and a little faith in the literal manifestations of the deity empowering the Kender cleric that the party sailed off into a rather unexpected, though in hindsight entirely foreseeable, naval blockade. The party escaped the dragon army blockade, which is stopping all trade in and out of Calaman Bay, and find the safe harbor at Wrecker's Edge. However, there's another ship already anchored. The party boards the ship and fights some air elementals that appear on their boarding. In the melee, Harold scratches out a rune circle etched into the deck. After the fight, a lone elf arrives and declares himself a member of the crew of this elven vessel. They are refugees of the Sylvanestry homewoods, which were invaded by the Blue Dragon armies 20 months ago. The party journeys 2 days north to the empty city of Exile's End and the rest of the elven refugees, who are led by the quasi-prophet Jelzuel. There, they are all there on a religious quest to transform a sacred heartseed into an eternity crystal. They see the presence of Bubo as a great omen, for the Owlin are native only to the Sylvanestry homewoods, and their people reside in the very branches and boughs of Zivelin. The party are invited to attend the sacred ceremony of cycles and witness an elven rebirth. After the ceremony of cycles, the elven refugees take the party to an inert arcane crucible, which they believe has the power to transform the heartseed into an eternity crystal, but they do not know how to activate it. Arlie drops her celestial book and tears out a page. Darkness descends around the party, and from it, a shadow dragon. The party activates the arcane crucible they are gathered around. The party fights the shadow dragon. In a combat, many elven refugees fall, along with Thaddeus. After Aelric defeats the shadow dragon by breathing his lightning breath down its throat, the party bring Thad's body to the activated arcane dais, and the magic wheelers pour their arcane reserves into this crucible. Chapter 5, The Fey Wilds. They were torn from the material plane and appeared in the Feywilds, which achieved little in the quest to find Legion's place of forging, and regressed in the quest to find all the deities when Selûne escaped and was swallowed into the far realms. Long story short, the party finds Arlie's lost page and return it to her celestial book, and they find themselves back at the Arcane Crucible the very moment Arlie dropped her book, although this time she doesn't drop it. Which brings us to Chapter 6, Back to the Real World. And so, we find ourselves at the opening of a new chapter in our epic tale. The party finds themselves back at the inert and inactive Arcane Crucible, surrounded by Jelzuel, Dalamar, and the other elven refugees, mere minutes before darkness will descend. And with that, I am going to activate our
Fireball trap.
Fireball.
6 fireballs. Send upon the group.
6 fireballs. So I'm now activating our map here so that we can see everything. Amazing. I just want to make sure that the audience is able to see where we are. Cool. And as we return, I am going to just make sure. So as everyone comes back, I am starting a timer for when the darkness is going to descend.
What were you going to say?
I said, what?
Harold looks in his bag. Harold looks in his bag.
Harold
Seems to
opens
nod
his
at
bag.
what he sees inside it.
Mm-hmm.
Harold opens his bag and seems to nod at what he sees inside it. He then looks to the rest of the party. It wasn't a dream. It happened. And we are here now. The dragon is coming. What are we going to do?
Everybody get into a group. Stupid boo-boo. I told everybody to get into one group.
I do remember that. Elric gets in, grabs into his bag and gets the orb of light.
Cool.
Ignites it, and just over his shoulder says Harold, and then he tosses it.
Harold grabs the orb and proceeds to the dais.
Do the elves seem like they are freaked out by it? Like anything happened to us? Do the elves feel like anything's been weird?
You can give me a perception check.
After I do that, Koi, I'm just going to start casually, Elric's going to start casually walking towards where the dragon will eventually come out.
The dragon was somewhere outside of those rings. It came out of the darkness, but I think to the south.
Where he appeared.
I think at first it was the south. Thad, with a 16, you notice that Jelzuel seems to be looking at you with a bit of kind of questioning, but the rest of the elves don't seem to be acting any differently.
I shout, "Everybody spread out!" And I just look straight at Jezuel at that, and then I turn to Dilk, and I grab him towards the thing, and I just go, "What does this do?"
To the dais?
Yeah.
Let's.
And if the elves are not spreading out, I am going to shout at them again as I drag Dilk over there.
Give me like a persuasion or intimidation. Dilk looks at the thing and is just like, I don't know. We're back. Oh, we're back. He rolled a 9.
I'm casting guidance on myself right before I do that. So that would be an 18, and I
with an
roll
18
a 1d4 if you want me to.
Yeah, go for it. But with an 18, yeah, a 19. Yeah, the elves are convinced. You can tell me where you want them to go. I'm just gonna
Asters to the
randomly.
dais.
Well, just a quick question.
Yeah.
What's everyone freaking out about?
Yeah, right. Bubo responds to this as he flies up onto the top of one of the rings, as per his last the last encounter. He says, There's a darkness that is coming. It's a dragon. It killed one of us before. It's very dangerous." And he yells out to everybody, "Everyone, when you see it, when it appears, do not hesitate. Shoot it right away, right away. Shoot it in its face right away."
Does your dog bite?
Yeah.
We don't want to
exactly.
like talk to it or anything.
We tried talking to it last time, and it ended very poorly for Thaddeus. I'm telling you right now that you do not want to talk to this, lest you give forfeit your life in that conversation. And
Just like,
yeah, go.
did it just like hurt your feelings or like
It killed one
what's
of
the
us.
deal?
It killed one of us. I understand that you're a happy person, but this is not the time to be happy. This is the time to be afraid.
This is the time to share what you are thinking because this is news to me.
I understand.
I don't know if I'm not actually speaking whatever. I don't know if the French accent is an accent, but it is 100%
It's
making
Elvish,
fun of you.
but it's English with.
It's an Elvish
you know?
accent.
Okay, cool. Then I was just being snotty.
You're being silly. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Do you want me to explain more to you? Why we're afraid?
I mean,
We're on a 10-minute timer.
how
Let's
important
keep
to
it
you guys is
talking
it that I
because
live?
Table talk is going to work against us.
Well, that's what I'm trying to talk about, whether or not this conversation is continuing. That's all. Like,
Go for it. Like I'm just saying, go for it.
So,
Everyone's getting real snotty about it, but I'm gonna start.
do you
just
think?
walking.
Is there anything that else you want to know other than protect yourself at all costs?
So much.
Well, then we can
Magnus
talk
is-
about it after this thing is dead.
Sorry to
Wait.
interrupt my comrade here. We were ejected from the Feywilds. It appears that we've moved into the past. We've been here before. A black dragon is about to descend into the courtyard. We can stop it firing spells to this dais. And Harold indicates the dais in the center of the plaza we're in right
We
now.
fire spells into the dais.
Into everyone.
To the dais.
Okay. See, was that so hard?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid.
That's fine. I understand. Can I also then say, I understand what it means to be afraid, and can I give him a little bardic inspiration?
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Toss him a little bardic.
What am I taking, and where am I
Ubo,
taking
you take it. I don't know. How do I do this?
I think it's just I don't think there's a mechanical thing with bardic. It's just something that he has to remember. Does he have a D8?
One
or is it a
D8 for
1d8?
10 minutes.
Nice.
Let me do this. 1D8 for 10
3 minutes.
That's all you're getting.
Oh, he gets to roll it when he uses it, I think. for
No, it
bardic.
just applies for the next 10 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes, the creature can add it to one ability check, attack roll, or saving. Okay, yeah, you can use that 1d8 whenever you want at your disposal.
Okay. Bubo casts Hunter's Mark for himself and onto himself. It's last 1 hour, so he's going to cast it now.
Dilk is entirely just distracted by being in the real world and doesn't seem to be able to have any understanding of the machine that you've placed him in front of.
I cast Long Strider
Yeah.
on myself.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. We're back. He starts doing a jig. We're back.
All right.
We're back.
I
You must be absolutely ecstatic. I catch Thad's hand by hopping up. No, you must be absolutely ecstatic right now, but I need you to listen to me for a moment, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, we have moved back in time from the point that we entered the Feywilds. In 3 minutes, Black Dragon is going to attack us in this dais.
That sounds terrible.
Are you hearing me? Yeah.
So we run.
Either
Those of us who are only living this once.
you can either vamoose or start firing spells into this dais because that controls the dragon. Maybe put your little wizard brain onto this thing and tell us how it works.
Okay. You see, he looks like over your shoulder at the idea of just running. When you say skamoose or whatever it is, and he's like, okay. He's gonna take another check. Looks like some sort of arcane receptacle. That looks like a space for some sort of device or object in the center here. You say that it receives raw arcane energy. Do we have the object or the device that's supposed to be capturing whatever arcane energy is going to enter into this? Jelswell comes from behind and says, "Would this be appropriate?" And takes out one of the small heart seeds from in his robes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like about the right size. They place the heart seed into the center of the dais. It fits quite nicely, like it was designed for it. Okay. You say you've done this before. So I don't know why you're asking me.
I'm gonna. Okay. Which one? Someone else can act while I'm doing this.
I'm just pieced out. I'm over here now. I was told to run. I'm over here.
Yeah, Arlie, you
Doing
want to
great,
check out the heart
team.
seed or something?
Yeah, just like I picture the dais being like kind of high up, and so she's
Yeah.
just like, "Ooh, wow, transformation, very cool."
Incredible. Let me make some notes.
Bubo
This is
screams
great.
down to the people. He's hovering above everybody, and he screams down to the people. Remember, this thing has an area attack that does very considerable amount of damage. I think we are grouped very tightly in the center here. I don't think that we should be so close to each other.
Yeah, but we need to spin the dais.
All we have to do is pour magical energy into it. We don't have to stay right beside it.
What counts as like inert magical energy, says Kabriel, the player, not Legion.
The way we did it before was just casting spells into it of random levels.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Any spell? Not like...
Any spell did something. We didn't have any sort of information as to higher magical spells, higher powered spells did more, but we don't know it. It worked with a cantrip. The first one was a cantrip, and it still did something. So,
Can I attack the dais now?
Sure, try it.
Is there any reason not to?
Sure, try
Give
it.
it a... I don't know. All my spells are mood spells. I don't think it's quite the right...
But if you've got a cantrip, you can go for it. Like just it doesn't cost you anything to just hit it with something.
Okay. The best cantrip I got for this particular situation would be Vicious Mockery.
Nice.
Just a
Nice, I
string
like
of
it.
insults. Be like,
Yeah,
you
just-
are a dumb-looking dais, and you are crumbling.
It's a
Oh, God.
cantrip, you say?
It's a cantrip. So I think it's psychic damage. I'm not sure it really works.
You can give me, what's the normal roll on that?
I mean, it's cantrip, so who cares? I think it says 2d4.
It's a save. You'd save against it, I think, as opposed to an attack spell.
Yeah, give me an Arcana roll.
Okay. Can we do it on here, or can I do it on the side? Because boundary scares me.
You can do it wherever you want.
Okay. I got it. I'm just figuring it out. I totally know how I would do this. Arcana, D20, right? Get a +2. Go. Oh, roll. Oh, God. It's so dark.
All right.
Yeah. As you lean down to
I have
cast
no
this,
idea what's going on.
so you cast a 4. A 4?
4.
You're rolling on a different character sheet, though. You're rolling on Mark II, not your own character sheet.
This is just the Legion I has. They're a different.
Yeah,
I changed my person.
it's the aspect of Dionysus right there. Where you are you able to see the? It's near the center of the dais.
This one?
I'm doing a little ping on the.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you open up that character sheet, it should. Just because you might have a different modifier.
Oh no, I've got my personal one open on the side here. I don't know why it's listing me as Legion MKU on here. I wonder if I can change my name.
No, because that's just a different token. It's a different token that's controlled by the same technical stuff, same user. Okay, so with a 4, you say some very mean words to the stone dais, and there's not much reaction to it.
Yeah.
Not much or none at all.
There is no discernible reaction to the stone.
Okay.
Psychic damage is not the vibe.
Can I
Does not
discern
surprise
if pumping something more powerful into it might be the trick?
You're definitely allowed to pump something more difficult, more powerful into it.
What I'm asking is, can I perceive if that's going to be a helpful action or if I'm going to burn? Can I just roll like Arcana to see if
Roll
am
an
I
Arcana.
identifying the problem? You know
Go
what I
for
mean?
it. Yeah, roll an Arcana. As this first spell is cast and Thad comes up and starts examining, darkness starts to fall, kind of sweep over the land and fill the surrounding area, which leaves us with now. There's still this light is still providing. This orb is still providing light. It is providing light in such a large radius that it's kind of hard to see the edges of it. If I do this, it actually might make it clearer.
Create the our light orb, Koi, so that I can move it with my mage hand.
It is there. Moving it right now.
Great.
Yeah, so I think you have
Let's
control
move
of it. Let me just give you ownership of it here, if you don't already have it. Oh yeah, you don't have owner. All players owner of this. There you go. So you should have ownership of it at this point. So outside of that orb, anything that is not in that orb is in a deep blackness. Aelric is we swapped maps. So did we lose Aelric in our swap? I'm going to bring Aelric back. I think you're there on the south side of the dais, Aelric.
I rolled a 28, by the way, Koi.
28 with Arcana. Yeah, with a 28, you can tell that a leveled spell slot, 1 or higher, would have a significant impact.
I'm gonna run up to it then, and I'm gonna pump in a mage armor into it.
Amazing. That's what level
Amazing.
spell slot is that?
That's a first level spell slot.
Amazing. Well done.
If it's only gonna take the level spell slot, I'm gonna use the first level one.
Nice. As you cast the first level spell slot, the dais starts to glow, like the stones themselves start to glow, almost as if they are lit from within. And you hear the rumbling as these stone spheres start to creak and churn and begin to slowly rotate and turn. They've been covered in centuries of dirt and dust, but they are stronger than this terrestrial stuff. And the arcane crucible slowly comes to life. As this darkness comes, moody dynamic. Thank you, Pirate Deadfoot. Says we got some moody lighting. That's how we do here on Your Legion. We got some moody lighting. I'm gonna make sure that we're seeing the right thing. So, Boobo, what are you looking out for? You have dark vision, right?
Yeah, up to 120 feet. Yeah.
So, and you are now high enough that you are kind of flying within the blackness itself, as these kind of shadowy, these are kind of like the shadows of clouds over the ground, in a cloudless sky that kind of pass over the ground and bring with it a blackness. So these kind of shadows swept over the area that you are in now. You're 100 feet still within this darkness. You cannot see outside of it beyond your capacity to see. But you're now keeping an eye out for...
So you're saying that I cannot see?
So
into
no.
darkness?
You can see your 120 feet of dark vision, which gives you like a kind of effective black and white kind of vision within the blackness. Yeah.
Right.
And you're 100 feet up.
Everything basically everything on the map here, like except for the last couple of squares.
Well, actually, so this is the thing about trigonometry, right? Is that actually at 100 feet up, you wouldn't see much more than this far on the ground, I think, because if you have 120 feet of vision, staring 100 feet down, and then the hypotenuse.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what that math would be, but it'd be like you wouldn't be seeing outside of the this map.
Right.
That's for sure. I don't think even to the edges of it. Yeah, trig exists. Yeah, the Dwarven. Didn't hear about the Dwarven Archimedes? Or who was it? It's in our intro. Yeah, what do we want to do? Who wants to act next? I had to do too much technical stuff to get us into this.
Yeah, so Harold says sail and casts fog cloud the dais, and you see the mist appear as it would in a 20-foot sphere around the dais.
Cool.
And then push in until it's almost like condensed into water droplets that pour the center of the dais, disappearing inside it. Beautiful.
That's a first level spell as well.
Level 1 spell slot. Yeah.
Nice. Beautifully described. Yeah, as the condensing fog cloud comes into and pulls itself into that dais, the light gets brighter and the spheres start to turn faster. What is your passive perception, Bubo?
My passive perception is give me a second here. My passive perception is 19.
Amazing.
Oh, and my dark vision is 150 feet. Sorry.
150.
Yeah.
Amazing. So Bubo, are you
which actually makes me see absolutely everything. I just calculated. I see everything on this map.
And I've already seen everything.
I've already seen it.
I've already seen everything. Amazing. Bubo, through the blackness, you're able to perceive it is still outside of the 120 your vision, but that's because there is this massive growing light below you from the arcane crucible itself, and then the light orb, which has actually gone south outside of the rings, I believe it is right now. and beyond that brightness, it's kind of, you see that you perceive this massive winged black dragon flying through the air at about your level, and it's at a distance, but it's able to, like, it comes within your distance and you can kind of see it, and then it comes outside of your vision again, and you perceive that it's beginning to circle this dais, but staying well away from the edge of the light. And
Okay, well, as soon as I can see it, I shoot it. As soon as I can see it, I shoot it. If I can see it, I can shoot it. Right?
yeah, if you want to shoot it, we're gonna roll for initiative. If you want to shoot at this,
Or we could just take free moments to cast spells into the dais before having to take initiative with the dragon.
Can it see me? Can it see me?
give me a perception check.
Well, I don't do a perception check. I'm basically invisible unless it's using magical means to find me. So
Yeah, it
if
hasn't.
it can't
come.
if it can't see me, then then it would be a surprise attack. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be initiative.
True. You would get your first attack.
What I mean, Lindsay, is that everyone else is, like, we're pumping spells into this thing without having to wait for the dragon to act. We could just continue pumping spells into this thing without starting combat and rolling for initiative, because then I only get to cast one spell every time the dragon acts. I could dump all 4 of my spell slots into this right now.
Rolling Arcana, will pumping more spells speed up the process, or again, like, sort of trying to define on this machine, or do we just need to, like, turn it on and it's now on some sort of internal timer?
Okay, yeah, with a 27 on your Arcana check, I can tell you that this is a device that is designed to focus magical energy. So it is not. It will take a certain amount of magical energy that, like, it needs to. You need to dump a certain amount of magical energy in it for it to then be able to take that energy and focus it into the point, its focal point, which is the arcanes. They're the heart seed, the elven heart seed. Amazing. But yeah, Bubo, do you want to? You can go first. You can shoot it.
The thing, I just want to take a second here. I mean, I want to shoot it. Okay, I just want to offer that. But the thing is that we have no idea what this thing does, right? We could fire it up, it could be fully activated, and then the dragon still kills us all. It's not like it does anything that we know, right? There's no reason to believe that firing this thing ends this encounter. Am I correct or incorrect in thinking that, to the party here? Just a little table talk.
I think
Let's keep it in character if we can.
I mean,
okay. So I scream out.
Yeah.
I scream out. I can see it. Should I shoot it? I'm not going to get into a discussion, obviously.
Yes.
Harold,
Do it.
Harold and Thieves can't, rather than screaming into the darkness, goes like, "Means wait."
Okay. Any other?
Jelzuel is like, what is going on? What is the darkness? What should we do? Why are my people out there in the darkness alone? I don't think this is the safest thing.
Dragon in the sky. Pump a spell into the seed, I shout.
Okay. Jelzuel and Dalamar are going to each pump 1 first level spell slots into the dais. And it starts moving faster.
Sweat starting to form on his temples because he's not used to this kind of output. Repeats the trick with 3 more times using all of his first level spell slots.
3 more spell slots.
Yeah.
Amazing. 7 total. That's going to take just a couple of. That's going to take 3 actions. So I'm just gonna. We're going to be pumping in as we're moving forward in time here. The Bubo, you see. Okay, who wants to do some trigonometry for me? This feels like a job for Vikovar. No, 100 feet and 90 feet. What's my hypotenuse
That's
on that?
150 feet. I did it while we were talking earlier. It's 140 for 100 and 100. So, like if I'm looking 100 feet out, and I'm 100 feet up, the hypotenuse is 140 feet.
Oh, so you have vision. You have fully.
So I
vision.
actually can see 150 feet out.
Sick.
So I mean, yeah,
Sick.
it's
okay.
Yeah, a lot more than that.
Amazing. So, Bubo, you see out of the blackness come descending this black, large, draconic figure in a dive, its wings pulled to its side, and it's diving directly towards one of the elven refugees who is on the northeast, furthest away from everyone else, alone in the blackness. Shoot it as it's diving?
Yeah, I shoot
Go
it.
for it. Yeah. Give me a...
So I'm it can't see me, so I have advantage. And I'm also going to have my sneak attack, so I'm going to do 3. I can't see it with the foundries. Oh, is it there? Okay, so inventory. Come on. Oh, it's not. It's only allowing me to shoot once. Okay, so that's +4. That's a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Okay, so that's the first one. I'm just going to resolve these, okay? Okay, that one's going to hit 2. I'm going to see if it's a critical. Okay, and then the third one. Oh, there's a crit.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit,
Okay.
He crit.
So that's 3 hits, and one of them a critical.
3 arrows.
Yeah.
3. You get 3 attacks?
In the first round, I get the Dread Ambusher,
which is the
Gloomstalker
bonus
gets an
attack.
extra attack. And the
yes.
third one is the extra attack, and if I get it, I get an extra D8, which is actually awesome for the critical.
Damn.
So
it says 42 on that critical, plus your D8.
Yeah. So how is that calculated? You know what? I'm happy.
Max damage plus the full roll. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to go with the damage that's here.
Mm-hmm. So that's 16, 21, and 42. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 16, 21, and 42, but none of these.
They're just standard damage.
Yeah, but the
sneak attack for all of those, or just the first one?
Just 1 per turn.
Yeah, just 1 per turn. I do actually have Hunter's Mark, so I get D6s for each one of those. Or is Hunter's Mark only once as well? It's that kind of math.
Oh, that's a good question on Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. I'm just gonna check really quickly. Hunter's Mark.
Whenever you hit with a weapon, whenever you hit.
You get 1d6 for sneak, right?
For sneak.
Yeah, 1d6 for sneak because he's a first level rogue.
Yeah, so it's 1d6.
So so that's 4d6 total extra with the sneak attack
across all of
and
them.
the 3 Hunter's Marks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, roll.
Plus 17.
Roll.
Holy
Plus 17.
shit.
Okay.
So what is that total damage?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. It's 16, 21, 27 plus 42, 67, 68, 69. Is that it? No. 42 plus 21, that's 61, 72, 82, 80, 82, 89 damage.
89 damage.
89 damage? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Wow.
only get that once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like per like long rest or like what are we talking? Because that's incredible.
Combat.
It's the
For
first attack
every-
on a combat.
Every first round of combat, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
boy.
17 plus 42 plus 21 plus 16. Whew. Damn.
Oh, sorry, that's 96. What
That's
is that?
96.
17 plus 42 plus 21 plus 16. Yeah, that's 96. Sorry.
Like a
96
bunch of
damage.
actors doing math.
Yeah, right? This is why I use the math system, the computer built in.
I use my
Wow.
old
Not helping.
my old
There you go.
faithful right here. The
Your old
soul,
friend.
soul
Yeah.
My old friend. Damn. Damn.
Wow.
That is a crazy amount of damage, Bubo. So
That is wild.
as Thad and Harold are like at the center of this dais, pumping magical energy into it. You hear like the only thing you can hear from Bubo when he's flying, because he's absolutely silent, is the twang of his longbow, like thung, 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 and then just the impact to the northeast as this screeching, howling sound, like from the like if anyone's heard pigs be slaughtered or cows, like but the size of a T-Rex, this screeching out of the blackness, and everyone needs to roll initiative at this point.
666 is 18 plus 8. That's 26. That's actually an extra. Sorry, I still have extra damage on that. Sorry, man. Because the hunter's mark is a dice as well, and the sneak attack.
So that'd be an extra. It would be an extra 12 because the sneak attack, because the hunter's mark and the
Illegal.
sneak attack are 2d6s, and it's only one critical, right? So it's the plus 12.
Yeah, an extra 12. Yeah, an
Right.
extra 12. So that would be 108.
Fucking
total
hell. That is
I thought you
insanity.
took the sneak attack damage on your 4d6 roll. Those, didn't you?
He took the roll, but because it was a critical, although
He gets the full amount.
the critical would be your first attack, not your third attack, though.
No, it's the third attack. It was the last roll that I did was the critical.
Right, but the sneak attack is the first hit. Right?
Sure.
I'm just trying to keep my guy alive, dude. Give me a fucking break here.
You just give him an extra 1,000 hit points because
Respectfully,
that is about to
Plus-
do his whatever the heck he
Plus
does.
6 hit points.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully
I know,
that'll be
I know.
enough
It's
to
you know what?
survive.
It's not me. It's actually Vikavar in the
Vikavar, you're killing
thing.
it.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's the one who told me that I
mean,
needed to add
by
more.
my
He wants
number,
to see extra
taking
damage.
away the critical sneak attack, by my number, that was still 102 damage in his sneak round, which was 3 shots, but still 102 damage. Absolutely insane.
That's where
insane.
that's where he's like he spikes so early and then he turns into like a nuisance, you know.
It's so wild.
Thad does that every round. Let's see what happens the
Thad
next
got
round.
75 last time, right? So who needs to roll for initiative here? I have
Yeah.
um
Sorry. Yeah.
Harold's
I
by the
did it for
dais.
100 damage that one game, that one or session, I should say.
You did 75 in a single attack last time, I think.
Yeah.
Or 2 sessions ago,
But then
which is
between
also
that and
insane.
the understep, I did a lot of
12 initiative for me. Or what is it? 17? What is it? I don't know. It's there, right?
Yeah, I have you at 12.18 just because of
12
breaking.
Yeah. Breaking Bad.
stuff. Breaking Bad, exactly. And then I have my. Okay, so that is opening our combat, and it is going to bring us into the first person who's going to go at the top of our round is the aspect of Dionysus, who rolled a 24.
No, I think I rolled a 20.
I think you got.
got a
I guess you got plus.
16.
You got. Okay, I have you at 24
I
for
got a
some
plus
reason.
4 to the 16.
I'm gonna say Bubo has to roll a Wisdom saving throw, for witnessing the frightful presence of this dragon. No one else needs to do it yet because I haven't seen him.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do that. You guys can continue. Don't worry about that. I'm not working. I'm not moving for a minute.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's
So
okay.
just give your roll, and yeah. So it's going to
Figure out
be
how to do that,
aspect of Dionysus up first, followed by. We have 2 rolls. So does So you're gonna stay first. Legion. Going to be you, Harold. I think you should have full health, right? Because everyone took a long rest, or did you?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll adjust that. Thank you for reminding me.
All good.
Got it. Thanks, man.
So it's going to be Legion, Dalamar, Harold, Thad, Bubo is just going to be our first on deck. Dalamar is an NPC. He can take suggestions, but he does have
Okay.
default actions.
I am going to take. Sorry, I'm going to take that D8 from you for the for my wisdom saving throw. Sorry, keep going.
Oh no, I just desperately wish I wasn't going first because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh no.
Or which buttons to press, and I was hoping for some wiggle room. So I may just have to do this a little bit old-fashioned style manually, and I will figure out how to do this. Like, I'll roll on the thing, but
Yeah, of course.
as far as like touching the buttons, I don't know. I'm so sorry. Okay. So what I think I'll do, where am I? I'm there. So I wonder if I can do it twice. I think I can. I was thinking I would cast Heroism. And it says I have to touch the person. Do you think I could get Harold and Bubo since they're right next to me?
Yeah, you can
Bubo's
definitely.
all the way up in the air.
Oh, Bubo's 100 feet up.
Who's that?
Yeah, I'm 100 feet
Oh
up.
my
So I'm
god,
not
that's
gonna.
100. Okay, so then in that case, I will pop my little self over here if I could.
Yeah.
Oh god, no. That did not work nearly as well as I thought it did. Move my little person. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to cast Heroism on the both of them. So at the second level, I think, second level or higher, you can target 1 additional creature for each slot above the first level. So I'm going to do it second level.
Amazing.
I am going to. Okay. How do I do that? I got it.
Hell yeah.
just
And
a
while you're
total
rolling there,
throw.
I'm just. Bubo is frightened. So Bubo was able to loose 3 arrows,
So
but.
I'm
yeah.
sorry. This frightful presence has like a range of like 100 and some odd feet. Like frightful presence.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's. I just sent the. It's when you're within
I don't have to roll
120
anything for
feet,
this.
then you have to roll. If you concede and you're 120 feet within range, then you have to roll the saving throw, and you become frightened for 1 minute. You can repeat your saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
Okay, cool.
And
That's
if
fine.
you succeed, then you are immune for 24 hours.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna see if I can
so I
find.
don't actually have to roll for this. Thank God.
Oh, amazing.
So a willing creature I touch, imbued with bravery, until the spell ends in a minute. You are immune to being frightened, and you gain temporary hit points equal to my spellcasting ability.
Cool.
At the start of each of your turns, which looks to be. What is my spellcasting? 5? Yes. You gain 5
5.
points.
Amazing. So
Really a
plus
support character.
5. I guess. How do we do 5 temporary hit points for Thad and for Harold?
Thank you, pick about yes, 5.
Amazing. And immune to
Being frightened.
frightened. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sorry, I didn't click the begin combat. My bad, guys. Now we're officially begun combated. And we have in the chat, we have Krampus. Welcome back, Krampus. Feels like you've been here before. Who was our legion when Thad died back in December. So welcome back, Kit. Love it. Are you going to do anything else on your turn, Legion
No.
Dionysus?
Let's see. Any kind of bonus actions I can do?
Sorry.
Maybe. Probably not. Nope. I can inspire some people, but I think that's it. I can keep running away. Which, like, maybe. What else is near me? I can't see. Let's see. Maybe I'll start, because that was what? I was like here-ish, 5, 10, 15, 20, 29, 30. I think I what, move 30? Move 30? Probably move 30. Everybody moves 30. We're going to put 15. Done. I end my turn. Somebody else take over, for the love of God.
I gotta run. Oh my God, I'm running. I also forgot.
You can do it. Bye.
I forgot Dilk. I forgot little Dilk. Okay, that ends. Dalamar standing next to the dais. He hears the twang of Bubo's bow and looks around to Jelzuel and Arlie and Harold, who are all standing in front of him. What do we do?
Dais. The biggest thing you've got into the dais.
He looks to Jelzuel. Jelzuel gives him a nod, and he waves his hands in and starts incanting some magical words. This is a very high-level spell with verbal, somatic, and material components. He takes out a small crystal from his robe, and using some arcane movements with his hands and some ancient elven words, out of the crystal, it fractures and turns into a blast of cold air that erupts from his hands. This is a 5th level cone of cold spell that he fires directly into the dais. Which just absorbs that spell and turns white hot. At this point, the rings around the dais that can't move on my map because I'm not that fancy, they are now moving at such a speed that passing through them will require a dexterity check. A failed dexterity check will cause bludgeoning damage as anyone tries to pass through these spinning rings.
Is this like in Contact, those like rings that are like spinning around?
Yeah. It's like a gyroscope. It's like a giant gyroscope. They're all just like spinning and wrapping around.
They should have sent a poet.
Yeah.
What I hear you saying is that we are protected in this little fast-moving shield because the dragon is too big. It can't make it through, right?
It would have to roll.
Dude, that'd be pretty epic. That dragon would have to be pretty.
Dexterity is that good.
And let me just check my notes here at what this difficulty is.
Really, the
DC
difficulty is
38.
higher for larger creatures.
Right. It's total right.
Yeah.
Fastball
Right,
special.
guys. Fastball. Yeah. Toss me.
That there was like what 90 damage on that thing, and it's still living.
Okay. One of the I found my saving throw. One of the refugees, 2 of the refugees, 3 of the refugees who were standing basically at the point. Oh, luckily. Okay. 1 is able to dive in. These other 2 just get caught in the spinning and absolutely get crushed by the stone and die. Just totally crushed. That's
so
2
if we
refugees
fail
down.
our dex throw, it's.
I mean,
really
they don't
bad,
have.
huh?
It's bad. You guys probably have a little bit more health than any of these elven
Like
refugees,
crossing
but
the streams.
yeah,
It's bad.
It's pretty bad. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Um,
Don't cross the streams.
That brings us to Harold's turn.
I see the dragon from where I am.
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
Um,
The dragon can move. It is going to move.
Like at all times. Vague statement. What do you mean it can move? Like special moves?
So with the dragon's legendary
Nobody else
action,
freaking out?
it
Used to be
is
a dancer.
able to. It is. It took those two arrows and like landed right next to that single refugee that it was diving towards. It gets back up, rears up onto its back legs, and beats its wings, creating a huge kind of shock wave and bludgeoning the elven refugee in front of it. The elf is just tossed like a little rag doll, and the dragon fires up into the air. This little elven refugee is dead. Harold's turn. Legendary actions. They take place in between people's turns. Legendary actions.
Everybody's turns?
There's a limited number of every round it has a limited number of consumable points it can spend, but it can spend those only between players' turns, and that's what a legendary action is. It's an attempt to balance the action economy of a whole party going against one bad guy. Yeah.
That checks out. Okay, fair enough. Go on.
Not at all.
Still can't. Can I still not see it?
No. No. It's you hear some noise to the northeast, but it is a good ways away from you. It's 100 feet. It's like 60 feet into blackness, so you can't see.
It's the name of my next album.
60 feet into blackness.
Okay.
It's a badass title, actually. Yeah. That's the name of this episode. 60
All
feet into
D&D
blackness. I made a what is it? Charisma save, babe.
I'm in love with a gloomstalker. 60 feet into blackness.
I'm gonna Harold once again. This Chael, and mist appears coming out of his hands in a 20-foot radius around the dais, and then condenses like a tiny angry rain cloud into the.
Amazing. And that's going to be a level 2. Now you spent all your level 1s, right?
Oh no, I hadn't had a chance to do all my level 1s yet, dude.
Okay.
We started
so,
combat.
Yeah, we started fast. Okay. So this is now a level 1 still. Okay, just tracking this stuff. Cool. It is getting now so bright that it is like painful to look towards the dais, and then it leaves kind of afterglow in your eyes as you look out towards the blackness, making it even harder to perceive what is beyond these spinning rings that are now starting to turn at ever increasing.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing. Is that creating more brightness in the general area? If this thing is like blinding people close to it, like
it is, but the brightness doesn't extend beyond the rings. These rings are acting kind of like a
it's contact,
like it's a contact. Mirror. They're like this arcane reflection, like because the purpose is like to create and then refract and focus all this energy back into the single point. So, within the rings is getting brighter and brighter. Outside of the rings is bright because of the orb. Now, did that orb go back within the rings? I thought it was beyond the rings.
Moving above the rings.
Above the rings? Are you able to? You're able to lift it.
You need me to make a dex roll to have moved it? I'll just make a dex roll.
Yeah, they're 90. It's like 90 feet up, so you can lift it 90 feet up with the
there's
hand?
no way I could have done that then. I'll just make a dex roll.
Cool. I'm just gonna give it its own.
Actually.
It can move on its own.
The orb's just gonna stick around here.
Yeah, okay.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine there.
Cool,
but
cool.
it can move on its turn. It can do its own movement.
I just gave it a turn, so it can move. Anyone can use the activation words, which I assume at this point Aelric's taught anyone, unless he wants to correct me.
Okay, but it's in
Cool.
Harold's mage hand
Oh, right.
properly.
Cool.
So
Cool. So unless your mage hand resists, it could probably still move with a passive grip on it. I mean, I'm not going to fight you guys over it moving. That's your turn, Harold?
yeah,
Cool. So we go to...
I'm gonna just move myself to the edge of this area.
Awesome. Okay. And that brings us to Thaddeus. With our orb up next, then Bubo.
Can I tell how much more is there? I want to estimate again, like how much more do we need to put? Can I get any sense of how much more this thing needs?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Solid
Go ahead.
maybe.
I think there might be a
Okay.
legendary action happening. Was that what's going on?
Could be.
No, you're looking at about... You've probably done about 1/3 of what its maximum capacity is.
And is it like one level? Am I thinking about I know this is mechanically, so it's more fine grained than this in the world. But is it like the higher the level spell, the more we fill the bar?
Yeah. So exactly the leveled spells, like those represent a greater expenditure of arcane energy, and so those would count more towards the activation.
I'm going to start to hum a little song under my breath and sort of start to sway a little bit to it, getting into a blade song. And I'm going to run back up to the dais, and I'm going to pump a 4th level spell into it. I'm going to cast Magic Missile at 4th level, and I'm going to pump it all into the...
Amazing. So just these like magical projectiles just appearing. Do they come out of the staff, or the haft of
I
your
sort
broken
of
axe?
I hold the staff, and with my other hand, the free actually it's the hand that I'm using to hold my rapier. The each one sort of like generates at the tip of my rapier and kind of does like a curly cue into it because they hit no matter what. So it's not like
Yeah.
you know when like little missiles, whenever that little missile they go like, and then they all like hit the thing. That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
my magic missiles are operating off the tip of my rapier.
Love it. And they're just
That's
like
like
whistling,
vibes.
like circling
Yeah,
and
yeah.
spinning, and then coming back around and finding all these different angles into the dais. Each one continuing to, at this point, what has just been kind of light energy is now starting to emit a bit of heat. It's also anyone who has arcane sensitivity is feeling a kind of increased pressure of the arcane energy that is filling this space.
For the rest of my movement, I'm just going to sort of back away again from the center, like Harold did, but I'm also going to wing out to where I just moved.
Cool.
There. And I will change my AC, and that's my turn.
Amazing. The next action
I should have mentioned on my turn that anyone who cares to notice this kind of thing, I don't think it's a perception roll, will notice that Harold's bag that he usually has slung across his shoulder is not on his shoulder and is lying, looking strangely empty beside the dais.
Hell yeah. We're gonna get to that at the bottom of before our next round. The Orb of Light has its turn now, so anyone who wants to use a commanding word could effectively force it to move or command it to move 30 feet. If anyone wants.
I don't see much use of bringing it inside the circle.
Maybe hovering it directly above the directly above.
It can only hover at like a person's height, so it can't go all the way to
it can't go up that
above
high?
the It just hovers as like a
okay.
What am I thinking? T41 speeder.
Is
that
this
a good reference?
commanding word?
commanding word as a spell?
Don't have it. Carry on.
Okay, no, I'm just saying like
Womp.
there's in the description of this, and I don't know the exact like special thing. It's called Orb of Light or something. It's just like anyone who speaks the word, this magical word, is allowed to control it, turn it on or off, or tell it to
Move
move.
it.
It's not like a specific spell. It's just like a
Oh, cool. So anyone.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, anyone. You would.
Open theft.
I assume that our deity would probably know this, and also the party. Aelric would have, I assume, shared the word with the party.
I mean, I
'cause
can
they've
like
had it for a
raise
while
it to
now.
my 6'6" height.
It can come as high as
I can, like-
like a shoulder, about 5-6 feet is like as high as it can go. Which brings us to we're gonna have Bubo, then our elven refugees, Dilk, and then Dragon, Aelric, Jelzuel, Juniper. So Bubo is next.
Okay. I just want to be 100% certain that even the fact that I'm invisible, I can still be targeted by a frightening presence, because it says that it has to be aware of me. You know what I mean? I mean, being aware that something is shooting you from the darkness is one thing, but being able to be targeted by something directly and like
you're okay. No, you're right. And each creature of the dragon's choice that is within, and it says the creature that's aware of it. My understanding was that, so I guess my reading of it was that anyone who sees it has to roll.
But it's like
that
of the dragon's choice is one thing too. You know, it has to be able to target somebody for it. I'm willing to go with whatever you want. It's fine. I kind of have advantage in the dark anyway, so it would give me just regular rolls at this point. But I just want to be clear.
No, it's a good question. I'm gonna say the dragon's choice stuff is usually written so that like you don't inadvertently target allies, is usually how those are written.
Of course.
And my reading of this is that it's like anyone who sees the creature has to roll against the frightful presence. So it's more about seeing it than it is about it seeing you. And it can choose to like say, you're a friend, you don't have to be scared of me.
Fine, be like that.
Good question.
I
gotta stop for another 100 points. Do you want to do another 100 points of damage?
No,
is that what you're gonna be like?
I mean,
all right, fine.
I'll just do that anymore. I can't do that anymore. So I'm just gonna make 2 regular attacks against it once it's. I mean, I would imagine I can still see it in the dark, even if it's. Even if it's up in the air, that hypotenuse is turning into like one of just a straight 150 feet. So I'm just going to just do a sharpshooter longbow once. I get +4 on this. That's all. With the sharpshooter. Yeah, poor thing. Oh, that's 20. That's 23. That's the first one hits, and then the second
hits.
one is a 6. So that one's not going to hit. So is that already like solving it for me? All right. So
yeah, it rolled without advantage on both of those. Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to get Hunter's Mark on that.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get rid of this.
You're gonna get Hunter's Mark.
So
He can't see you still, so you get your
and
sneak
attack. Yeah. Okay, so that guy and that guy. That's it, right? That's it. Plus another 8, so that's 28 damage on it.
28.
My Hunter's Mark is active. I can't do another bonus action. Well, that's I think that's it. See how unexciting it gets for Ranger after the first round. That's it, and that's going to be my.
Makes me feel
whole
a lot better,
turn.
honestly. In my life, but just makes me feel a little bit more adequate.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm over here like, good job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So that's my turn. I'm just going to stay in the dark and do that. I'm going to step away for a second because my baby's crying. I'll see you in a second. I'm listening.
Cool. I'm just
the sounds of all of us actually just crying. Takes his headphones out. He's like, "Oh, that's weird." We're all like,
It is now the elven refugee's turn. all of these refugees who are in the darkness start running towards the light.
Towards the spindly, spiraling time turner things.
Yeah, towards their friends who, and out of the darkness where death resides. They all are just making it to the edge here, but I think if they dash, they can get in. This is an opportunity if anyone wants to yell any encouraging or discouraging words before these elves try to dash their way into the protection of the light. Now is your chance.
Don't run in here! I scream as
you're like casting
one
this.
in the shadows. Don't invincible train us, man. Just watching all of these poor people get shredded as they run into a meat grinder that we're inside of.
I mean, I'm willing to use to do a persuasion thing. I mean, I'm waiting for my turn to do an action, but I'm looking at blessings of knowledge where it says I don't think it's an action though. I just learned languages, but it does say your proficiency bonus is doubled for any check you make with the chosen skills. But I don't think that's about language isn't a skill, so I don't think I'm just reading things.
Yeah, I mean, you could give yourself like a persuasion. You could do it on persuasion and then double your
Also
proficiency.
Oh, actually, I get it. Blessings of knowledge will have already added because it's already built into the character sheet. Yes.
Right.
I'm also very persuasive. So can I help? Do you?
Yeah, we can do a help. Yeah. So like Thad and Legion are doing a help action. Arlie's, everyone's the whole party. Just stop! No, stop!
So yeah, in Elvish, which I can't remember if Elvish has an accent. I'm gonna roll persuasion with. It doesn't.
Be British. I feel like elves are British.
The elves are British. They kind of are. Yeah, it's a kind of French or British. Yeah. Either one works.
Oh.
Amazing. 19.
Right.
Is that with advantage?
No, not. It's no. I roll it twice. Did I click twice by accident? I'm sorry. I was just.
I only saw one.
Advantage would be good.
It can go higher.
The help action is the.
Help action lets you be advantage. Yeah. Help action means you can roll again.
Why did I think that the help action was just a +4?
That's probably 3rd edition.
Let's take it.
Or 4th edition. Okay, yeah. So you still rolled a 19 at least.
Right.
Plus one more. Yeah.
Right, the gyroscope will absolutely rip you to bits. Stay in the shadows.
Right, Bruno.
Maybe spread out and make yourselves scarce. The dragon can't pick you all off.
Oh God. Okay.
Matter just nodding vigorously.
Yeah. With that and Legion and Arlie screaming in their native language, they all come to the edge of these spinning circles and then spend their action to dash away. Now, most of them are going to dash down because they know that to the north of the dragon is above them. So they're kind of running along the edge there, not necessarily being as effective at splitting up.
I definitely imagine the theme song from what's that one where the guys are driving the car? Oh, it's embarrassing.
The one where the guy is driving the car.
Top Gear.
Oh, Top Gear. Oh my God. I love that show.
I just imagine all of them just
Benny Hill.
Solid.
Yes. Also Benny Hill. Yes.
Solid.
If we're 1967 BBC.
The song is called Yakety Sax.
Yeah. Okay. We can't be caught for.
Yakety Sax isn't it a different one?
Song title, and it is Yakety Sax.
I thought Yakety Sax was the one with lyrics, and the one I'm thinking of is from.
Don't Dog Bark.
Right.
Hazard. Oh shit! That is exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's Yakety Sax, huh?
Pretty sure. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, it's Yakety Sax.
Yeah.
That's Dionysus'
Vicavar.
right
Yeah,
there.
Yakety Sax, Vicavar.
Vicavar, yeah.
Vic knows everything. He's actually he's not a real person. He knows everything.
So
it's Yakety Sax and 4E.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Our elven refugees act. We go to Dilk, our resident druid, who sees all this going on and is like, "Oh shit!" And he does a little thing with his hands and looks at first it looks like he disappears, but then you notice in his place at his feet is a small mouse, a little field mouse that runs down the steps of the dais and finds a little like a little chink in the stone and just crawls itself into the stone chink as he chooses the coward's path and runs away. Dilk didn't live all this time to die. Next up is
We're fighting
our...
Dilk next. Just. I was Team Dilk, you know?
That's what being Team Dilk does to you, right? Like we could have all told you that this is what was going to happen for standing Dilk.
This is what you get.
Dilk's a dick.
Real Gaius Baltar energy coming from Dilk.
Solid reference.
Nice cut.
All right, so we are going to... I need to... There's too many things.
Take a very loud drink, and I apologize. Actually, you know, I'm gonna roll with it. My drink is making slurping noises. So I like that the idea that Dionysus has just pulled out like her wine skin, and she's just like giving myself my own bardic inspiration.
It's like perpetually at the bottom of the thing. Like there's
at all
always
times.
Like
that's amazing.
A half centimeter left in it.
Just every time.
It's magically, it never runs out, but it's always just about to run out. Just about. Like I think there's still a couple sips there.
It's soothing.
Amazing. Out of what is the range on this? Oh, amazing. So in this darkness,
when he says amazing.
Yeah, right. This is great. I like this.
I can hit everybody.
You hear the flapping of wings, much different, heavier, deep flaps coming from the north. And
deep flaps, you say?
Deep flaps. Yeah. One of those things as a DM, the things you say, and you're like, I wasn't supposed to sound like that. The dragon flying through the blackness, coming to the edge of this light, and just you can hear growling, and is going to continue flying up above and over this dais. So it is above everyone, so still not visible, but it is flying above and over top of this dais. And actually, I'm gonna leave it visible because
of Bubo.
Because of Bubo.
Le boob.
And
Las boobs. Las boobitos.
And it's going to take its its action to dash, as it is
Boob
just going quickly over and away. And it calls out in Draconic. And anyone who can read Draconic can understand what it says.
Oh, I missed that. It was there for a second.
It is in the
That was
Draconic.
really cool.
So
This is the coolest shit I've ever seen.
We have 2 people who speak Draconic that should be able to read that post. But it just crawls out in growling, snarling from the darkness.
But if it was meant for me, I cannot see this thing at all. I don't know where it flashed.
It should be in the chat log.
Chat. Yeah.
In the chat log in Foundry.
It's in the Foundry chat as the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, it really is. I've never seen Draconic written, and I want to learn the language now.
So that's what it looks like if you don't if you don't understand it. If you do understand it, there should be a little translation directly below that in the same.
Cool.
Does
Is this like? Sorry.
do you see it,
Yes.
Harley? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll tap you.
Oh, Aelric can't understand it.
I'll put it in his chat for now. We'll figure it out later.
I have the graphic. I just don't have the translation.
Oh, weird. It might have you as not speaking. Might have you as not speaking Draconic. Weirdly. Oh no, it
I
does.
mean, it had me as a
I'll send it
different
to him.
regions.
Okay,
I'll
you
send a
can see
screenshot.
it.
I already did.
Okay.
I already sent it to
I-
him.
Oh, so like everyone can see the translation.
We
I
can see
thought
the
Foundry was
Draconic.
interpreting it for those who speak Draconic.
Can you read
My bad.
Draconic, or can
What
you
is
speak
that
Draconic,
then?
Linz?
Were you talking about my mama? Thaddeus? Yes, I can read Draconic, so I read it.
It just
Oh.
comes out as a
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Bubo.
like
Bubo can speak Draconic.
that. Only one person should be able to read what I shouted.
Harold can also. Everyone's discovering our language module that I just.
Funny.
Oh, Harold's
Yeah.
speaking halfling. Amazing. Welcome to the language module that I've been keeping in the back pocket for the last little while. This just allows people to talk amongst each other. I don't know. It's a very weird module, but it's kind of fun. I don't think
So
I don't think our Twitch stream can see it so far. So I will activate and make it visible for everyone in Twitch stream next week, or even maybe at our break, because we're just about at break. But I want to get to the end of round one. We have 3 more people, and then we can get to the end run. We'll take a little break and come back. Aelric, Jelzuel, and Juniper are going to finish up round 1.
This was spoken. Yes.
It was spoken as it's flying above you. Yeah.
Looks cozy.
Who's up?
Aelric,
Juniper?
It's
What?
Aelric, Jelzuel, then Arlie.
Wait, sorry.
that's right. Aelric kneels.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay.
And responds in Draconic.
Yeah.
I am here now, Groaked. Speak with me.
Oh,
You hear the wings almost directly above you, and they're coming in your direction, Aelric. And you hear. So when cats do it, it's very cute. But if anyone's had a little cat and they see like birds outside, they do a little bit of like and like the kind of like little video game like stuttering.
So cute.
You hear the kind of staccato vocalization of a dragon doing something very similar, of like seeing prey and kind of trying to resist the hunting, the predator urge, that prey instinct.
Wait, who's doing that? The dragon or
The dragon. The dragon is doing that sound.
Cool, 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 cool.
Cool.
Really
Cool,
comforting.
nice. Yeah, fun and cool.
comforting
Cool and fun.
noise.
Cool.
Makes me feel a nice ambient dragon
Amazing.
chittering in the background.
The dragon can't move for now, so Aelric, you can still act. I want to double check the height or the breadth of this light. It is 120 feet. So Aelric, you can actually just see Grooked at the very height of the orb's light, the dim light that the orb is putting out. Grooked is about 80 feet.
Aelric is not in there. He's way out here.
Yeah, he's down there, but you can see Grooked, who
Okay,
is
yeah.
here.
Yeah, right. That's what I was planning on.
Yeah.
Great.
And because of
But-
how time
but
works,
Groot
he's
does not-
moving at a
Groot does not
speed
matter?
towards you. He's moving
Okay.
towards you, but his turn just ended, and he dashed at this
Yeah.
height. So he is, the way that action works in D&D, it's like he's kind of there, he's on his way there. Like things are always moving and happening all at the same time.
Elric is still on one knee waiting for it.
Oof,
Okay. Are
that's-
you gonna? Do you want to
that's a
like
pretty
hold
big-
your action?
Does anybody want to take that one? It's like, I mean, just giving it to us. Like,
I don't think I can just do anything.
Do you want to hold your action for something, or
Me?
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
I'm
wanna-
not drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just waiting until
Yeah.
he closes, or I can continue to speak right now.
You can
I'm
keep
leaving
speaking.
it.
Yeah. So in terms of like action economy, like because we're in initiative, he can't move until his next opportunity to.
Right.
But what you can do is if you can speak a little bit, and then if you want to save an action for a trigger, then you can declare that held action, which could be like if he comes within range, I'm going to do something, or I'm whatever, and that way that you can still spend that action of your turn.
I'm doing what I want to do.
Cool. Yeah.
So I can
Awesome.
continue speaking?
Mm-hmm.
The Jesus has brought you here to die. A death I've already seen. A death I've already caused.
Can we understand you or no? Right? No.
No, they're speaking Draconic. Only Arlie
Cool,
can
cool,
understand.
cool, 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 cool. Cause damn. One.
I cannot wait to have you within my jaws.
Grooked. I am not your enemy.
How do you know that?
Grooked. I ask you not to join us. I ask you to save yourself. I am not looking for mercy. I am appealing to your want to live.
But what is life if it cannot also be taken? With that, I'm going to move to Jelzuel because these turns are 6 seconds, so I want to keep things moving. But awesome. I am skilled. Excuse me, something in my throat.
There.
This is so embarrassing.
Let it out.
That's better.
Okay. We're back. Yeah. We're gonna move on to Jelzuel's turn, who is gonna also Jelzuel is going
There's the
to
whales.
Jelzuel is gonna be like, oh my god, this is actually a dragon, and he casts level. I think. Let me double check his spell book here. He's gonna cast a upcast 9th level. Magic missile. So there's going to be like 12
73.
magic missiles fire out of Jelzuel's staff, like pollen out of a like dandelion blown in the wind, and they all fly into the air quickly, slow down, and then almost like they're attracted by magnets back into the center of this arcane crucible, raising its temperature and brightness. At this point, it is effectively impossible to stare into the dais as it is so bright.
4 days.
And Juniper Arlie is going to finish this is going to be the last of our round before we do a little bit of a break.
Okay. I got a choice tree. Got 2 different actions planned. Did I
Okay.
hear the conversation on Elric's
You did.
end or no? I heard
You did.
Elric's. bit as
Yeah.
well. And just so that I'm, because Arlie knows what she heard, but just so it sounded like Aelric is kneeling and then is essentially like there's a little bit of mercy being offered to this thing, but it's like also a threat, right? Is that kind of the right picture?
Aelric?
I'm not sure who's threatening. I mean, I don't know anything.
This is if it was an NPC, this would be like an insight check. But considering like Aelric, like Aelric, do you want to describe if her perception of what you're doing is correct?
Maybe I just gotta go with it with like the game.
No, especially from you knowing Elric, I think you would see it definitely as an offer for life.
Like as in like you're offering mercy.
Yeah.
Or something.
A better choice. Not mercy, a better choice.
Okay, so yeah.
I am going to, unfortunately, just do a little thing because of legendary actions. You're still going to be acting. But as Jelzuel's pumping these magical missiles...
Turn out the light!
And Groot screams, and I'm rolling a Constitution saving throw. The orb of light shatters.
Oh. On my turn, the light goes out.
The light goes out. So there's still light within the circle. Very clear, like that is bright light within the circle. Outside of the circle has now descended into pitch blackness.
Okay. Arlie is going to cast. She's heard this interaction, and she's going to cast Sending, and just like in Draco to Aelric. I think she might need to move 15 feet to do that. So before she's going to do that, she sees the light in the dais like go dim, right? Dim or out, or was it the light outside?
The dais very, very bright. The dais is like so bright you can't see it, or you can't look into it. The floating orb, that drift globe, that thing that was floating around outside of the circling stones, that shattered and exploded as Groot shouted a magical command at it.
Got it. Okay. Crap. Okay, and that light was presumably very helpful.
It was our light that like let everybody who doesn't have dark vision see stuff.
Yeah, so at this point, anyone who's outside of the stone rings is in blackness. Inside of the stone rings is bright. So if you don't have dark vision, you can't see beyond the spinning stone rings. Anyone standing outside of them is now in blackness. Anyone inside of the spinning rings is in like complete bright light.
Annoying. Okay, well, I will deal with that on my next turn in the next episode, I guess. So I'm just gonna cast Sending at Aelric. I'm gonna move the 15 feet that I need to do that. So here I go with my ability to do that. All right. Oh no, pick Arlie up, move. Anyway, I'm not doing well at that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm measuring the 15.
You just have to pick the
hit the box.
The wrong thing selected.
Yeah, use the top, and that'll get your token activated.
I apologize. It took me like 10 minutes to do my turn.
I'm sorry. So when I I click on her. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna carry on with the turn. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna work on moving her.
You just want to move her. That's fine. Yeah.
I'm just trying to move her so that I can cast the 60-foot distance of Sending. So in Draconic, because like now we're in the language. She's gonna just like beam at Aelric. Like, what is thy plan? Why hast thou taken like a knee? What is your the Draconic allegiances are what? And then you get to reply. The spell allows Aelric to give like a 1 cent. Like it has to.
Thou canst reply to this message.
Yes.
Hit 1 if you'd like to reply.
Yeah. I love that Arlie's Draconic is from Old Text. It's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite little things.
Dragon Shakespeare. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I did read a lot of Dragon Shakespeare. What is thy plan?
Amazing.
And Elric replies, I am trying to save Groot.
Well, okay, I'm gonna Arlie's gonna have like a bug-eyed reaction to that, but she's used up her action, and and that leaves us in bonus action territory, where I'm actually just gonna I don't have one, so I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna move back closer to the dais thing. I think, yeah.
Cool.
I'm just gonna I ran out to send a message and use whatever movement I didn't use up, like 10 feet to go back towards the center, and then I kind of am tempted to take. We got those healing seeds.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of if I remember correctly from the game months ago when we did this fight, we had to put divine energy into the center to that was very powerful at dispelling the darkness. Is Claire the player remembering that correctly? Or was that just
so.
I correlated things that weren't correlated?
I think so. It was arcane and divine energies. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna take my little healing seed and I want to chuck it in the thing.
All right, trying to activate it, or just throwing the object.
My arcane, the arcana assumption, just the assumption from the previous game is I just remember spending all my turns casting guidance on it. Not guidance, sorry, casting guiding bolt on it to.
Yeah.
And it was helpful somehow.
So spending activating the seed. I guess my question is are you activating the seed in the same way as if you were to heal yourself or another person, which is there's an activation. It doesn't cost a spell slot, but it's using the item, which I think is a bonus action, is what we've established in the house rules. Or are you taking the thing and throwing it onto the dais just on its own?
I guess I was treating it like an offering, but now that I understand that it has an activation, then I'm just gonna activate it.
Cool.
Cool. That's the bonus action.
And you can choose to spend 1, 2, 3, or 4 charges, right?
Okay.
So how many do you want to
choose? 4.
I choose 4. Nice.
I choose 4. I choose you.
So Arlie's able to run to the edge, come back, hold out the small medallion with the world tree, and this celestial energy just flows out of it. This is something that everyone's used at this point, either on themselves or on party members. So this lovely spring green magical energy of new leaves comes kind of floating out of it and sucked into what is now this growing vortex at the center of this. As this is going to be our coming to the end of our round 1. So the last thing that's going to happen before we take our little break is out of the small bag of heralds that he left open on the dais, there's some movement within, and out pops a small rat wearing a little hat with a feather on it.
No.
And he goes,
"Oh, schloozles.
Ah, I see we have another adventure." And that is going to take us to the top of round 2. And we are going to have a little break for about 10 minutes. Thank you, everyone, so much. Le Squeak Noir has returned.
Le Squeak Noir.
I feel library cat just try to leap out of my sack.
And with that, actually, let me do.
Welcome back. We have come back from our break and will return to see what will happen to the party fighting the dangerous black dragon of the shadows.
A little bit of fun for everyone. Yeah, welcome to the voices.
I like that.
The real world, you thought the
Welcome to
Feywild was wild. The real world's full of voices. We are back at the top of round 2 with Aspect of Dionysus Legion ready to go. But if you need
ready.
if you need to ask in character any suggestions or advice or
Okay. Okay. This is gonna be a. I guess I need to do some form of like skill check because the only spells, nobody's hurt, so I'm just chilling. I could either ready my spell, which is a thought in my head. If I was to do some sort of like ranged attack on the dais, is that gonna break it?
like a magical ranged attack? Is the intention
like,
to like pump magical energy into it is the intention to like actually damage it? Oh no. So let me clarify. Yeah, because this is you weren't a part of like this last time. The idea is if your intention as a magic wielder is to pour your magical energy into the dais, then you can describe any narrative way that looks. And you're not really using a spell. What you're doing is you're just like using the magical energy you would have harnessed into a spell. You are choosing to pour that into this vortex that is growing in the dais. You can describe it the way that Keen did, which is like looks like a spell that then gets caught, or you can describe it as just like raw magical energy you're pumping in. It's kind of up to you. But if your objective is to just pour magical energy, you spend a spell slot, and then that energy is going to go in. If you want to actually try to damage the thing, then that'd be different.
No, I don't want to damage the thing in any way, shape, or form. Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna walk up to the dais.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna haunt me forever. I guess I shouldn't stand right on top of it. What have I done to my own screen? I'm gonna pop right up. I'm right in the middle at that 2.5 feet. Fucked it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm close enough to it. Yes. Yes. Okay. Then in that case, I'm gonna kind of just be like, oh, I'm so sick of this, and I'm going to cast Thunderwave directly at the dais, which is going to be 4d8
What's the level?
4d8.
What's the level spell? Or are you dumping? Like you're just
It
trying to
is
dump magical energy, right?
I'm trying to dump magical energy.
Cool.
It is a 3rd level spell slot.
Nice. Yeah.
So
So
I
that
still do roll the 48 or no?
No, you don't have to worry about damage. Because you're just pouring arcane fuel into the fire at this point. So you can just
It's a
describe
massive
what it
dump.
looks
In there.
like. You just look like what does that look like as Legion does this?
It's totally gonna just be like a nice burgundy color. Just we'll make it a little staticky kind of aura, just like leaving my hand and like just driving in to the center of the dais and kind of like crackling down it. Because I still want it to be kind of thundery. It's cool.
Hell yeah. Nice. Yeah,
I
yeah,
like a
yeah.
nice burgundy color.
Kind of like
At this
Palpatine,
point-
but like wine and cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If Palpatine made charcuterie board.
If Palpatine was like sharp,
Exactly.
like a
My
Pinot
vision.
Noir.
You understand my vision. Yeah, exactly. And then I guess for my bonus action, what I shall do, if I can, and I don't know if I can as a bonus action. Yes, Bardic Inspiration is a bonus action. I
Yeah.
think I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration. Just out of curiosity, is there a limit to how many people I can give Bardic Inspiration to? Because I don't have to touch them. I just have to. They just have to hear me.
I think it's one target, I believe.
Yeah, it's just one person.
Okay. So in that case,
One creature that can hear you. So you don't have to see them, which means you could give it to Aelric or any of the elves or like anyone in the darkness. Or anyone in the light. Because it's anyone who can hear you.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna give it to Juniper, but in that case, I think I'm gonna give it to Aelric because he's clearly doing some voodoo magic over there, and I don't know what it is, but I think he's on our side, so we're gonna do that.
Cool.
You can do it, buddy.
Amazing. So Elric, you're going to get a D8 whenever you need it. And that's going to be Legion's turn. Yeah?
That's it. That's all I got. You're doing great, team.
Amazing. And then she goes back to sipping that juice. Dalamar's next. He's like, do we still arcane energies? Is that what we're looking to everyone?
Oui, vas-y.
Okay. He's going to pour a 4th level spell slot in. It is getting to we are getting to a kind of crescendo point. The light is now starting to reflect off of the outside of these rings, which are now moving at such a speed that they're kind of like helicopter blades. Like it's hard to discern that they're rings, and like they're reflecting light as if they are a uniform sphere that is reflecting light. And it is now getting hard, especially now that it is dark beyond. It is like it's effectively impossible to see into the darkness beyond these rings, and it is becoming exceedingly bright inside them. I'm going to change the lighting control just for fun, so everyone can see what we're looking at on our map. Anyone outside that the rings, though, cannot see anything beyond the rings. Anyone in the darkness beyond the rings can only see if they have dark vision. With that, as we move to Harold's turn, Groot is going to move on his legendary action and land in front of Aelric, and he is going to flap his wings. Aelric, I'm going to need you to make, I forgot this earlier, a wisdom saving throw, because you see the dragon. And at the same time, you are also going to need to give me a dexterity saving throw.
For Bardic.
Which one do you want me to roll first?
You can choose which one first. The frightened, the frightful presence should have been when you saw him last, the the last round when you were acting when you
Okay,
saw
I'll
him.
roll that
So you should probably
first.
roll that first. It just means that you would be frightened. You wouldn't have had to run away. You just would have had to stay your ground, which is what you did anyways. So,
Yeah.
Come on, Elric. Come on, Elric.
Do I in this? So how does this bardic thing work? I just get a die 8 or whatever.
you get
If you
1d8
need it.
to add if you need it, and you can choose to add it after you've rolled your dice.
All right.
So it's going to be a wisdom saving throw first, DC 16.
I can't even. So I'm
Ooh.
definitely frightened.
Okay. So Eric is officially frightened. And I'm just going to give him the frightened condition there. And then give me, that's fine though. It doesn't affect anything that happened, but it just means that you, I think, can't move towards, and any attacks will be at disadvantage. And then you are rolling your dexterity saving throw, which you succeed. Amazing. So as the dragon lands in front of you, beating its wings, trying to knock you down with them, you are able to resist and stand your ground, leaving you standing a medium-sized creature at about 6 foot, 6'2", something like that, in front of this huge dragon, which I think as it's on its feet, its head and shoulders are at least 12 feet off the ground. Its
actually
wings going
kneeling.
even higher. All right, you're kneeling.
actually
Yeah.
kneeling.
In that kneeling position, you were like able to like even resist stronger as it came down on you there.
Counterbalance. You got a 3 points of
Yeah,
contact with the ground.
3
so
point.
you're nice
Yeah.
and balanced.
And that is its legendary action. So we go to Harold's turn.
Harold upcasts Cloud. I'll use one of my second level spell slots
Okay.
and dump it into the dais.
Okay.
Speaks louder this time from before. He's never cast this many spells in a row or ever a second level spell. And it's almost like his voice, the presence that his voice has, takes him by surprise as he says, "Tail!" And fog comes out of his hands. This massive cloud that comes in like a cumulonimbus that forms on a clear day and just condenses into an angry rain cloud before being sucked into the dais.
Amazing. For anyone who wants, can give me a passive arcane perception check at this point. It's going to be a DC 12.
Is this Arcana to what are we doing here?
Passive.
It's like a
Yeah,
passive.
if I
Do you have passive arcane? Is that a passive? Is there such
Passive
thing
would
as a
just
passive
be, it would
arcana?
just be the wisdom, like it would just be like a flat like wisdom modifier. No, sorry, intelligence. Whatever arcana is made of.
Intelligence, I
It'd
believe.
so it would be just without your. Sorry, I'm in 3.5. I don't know the answer.
Passive.
Because there's passive perception, but I didn't know there's passive other stuff.
There's no other passive. Like,
Yeah, there are. Technically, there are other passives.
Oh
It's
yeah,
very-
there are.
You can have passive investigation, passive. Like I'm looking at my D&D Beyond sheet. The way that it works, I think, is like it's half something plus a modifier. It's like it's supposed to be the average roll that you would get on.
Yeah, I just did his little screenshot. So Arlie has like a 15 passive arcana.
Yeah.
According to amazing. So then at that point, so Arlie would be able to feel it. Thad probably has the passive and he rolled really high anyways. You can, yeah. So you can all tell, all our magic users can tell that this, it is like on the verge of max capacity. So it is like, it is right at the threshold of having enough energy to finish the crucible ritual that we have all started here. That
Then
is what
bonus
I'm
action.
saying.
Harold is going to go as far south as he can get before the spinning blade start.
Cool.
And take a position trying to look for any sign of Aelric.
Amazing. You won't be able to see him beyond, but yeah, you're searching out for him. As we move to Thad's turn, before that, Groot standing in front of Aelric in the blackness. Aelric, you can't even make out all of Groot, but you can kind of see like a glowing, like black, a kind of glowing blackness, infra black, if we're going to take from Terry Pratchett, coming from its mouth as it stands above you.
I
I
Elric's not
remember
even
your
looking up.
line, Elric. I remember
Sorry.
your allegiance.
Repeat. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I was explaining that I'm not even looking up. I'm looking down. I'm totally passive right now.
I remember your line, Elric. You once all bowed before our queen. Why are you with these mammals?
Do I need to wait for my turn to respond?
You can give me one response, yeah, for fun.
I'm not what I look like. I am what I do. And who it with.
Yeah, I don't know what you can do with that, Groot.
Thad, you're up.
I can't see outside of the rolling.
No,
stuff,
out of the sight.
right?
No.
I just to be safe, I'm gonna cast Magic Missile at 2nd level into the dais.
Okay. Thad, you cast Magic Missile into the dais, and when you do, there is a blinding explosion of light that is refracted and reflected from the spinning circles, these rings, and almost like a collapsing star, the light is sucked in until there is just a single white hot glowing ember that is the heart seed at the center of the dais. As the ritual completes, all of the magical arcana light also goes out, leaving complete blackness.
Well, that was great. Okay.
I'm gonna run to the center of the dais where the heartstone is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like what? That was
Yeah, it's like 5 feet or something. I'm gonna give you back your vision so you can just read the board, but just know that we're all in blackness. The only thing you can see is the heart seed that is now glowing white hot and smooth and in the same consistency, like texture, as the crystals that are embedded in Legion. It doesn't have any color to it, and its form is still just an abstract oblong shape of the seed, unlike the different forms.
I reach my hand out towards it, and as my fingers get close to it, like I know it's radiating this magical heat, but is it going to actually burn? Am I getting the sense as I reach out my hands towards it that it's going to burn me?
No, at the moment, It does not feel like it's going to burn you. It is cool to the touch, but the radiate, like the light that it radiates, it doesn't go like 5 feet. Like it is just like it's just like this glowing light. It doesn't provide any illumination, but it's almost like the light that is illuminating from it is being sucked back into it in a weird way, right?
So in the darkness, just because I'm trying to remember, I think I know where the last known location inside all of this was, but I'm just gonna go. Um, uh, wait, what am I gonna do? Dionysus, where are
Yes.
you? Okay, we're
Over
triangulating
here.
where your yes is. I'm going to grab the seed, and I'm going to run, and I'm just going to try to press it into Legion's body. Like, I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I like want to just like touch the thing against their Warforged body.
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay,
Give me
yeah.
give me a consent check on that.
I was thinking it. I'm so glad someone else.
Just press it into
Anyone.
your body.
That's pretty good.
So with a 21, what I'm going to give you, this is one of those like I'm giving you something that Thad kind of would have a appreciation of. What you have now created is an arcane or a celestial crystal, one of the crystals. You're still searching for the place where these crystals were either filled or connected to Legion. What you do have right now is an empty crystal, assumedly, that has the potential to imprison an entity as powerful as a god.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab that thing, and then I've used 5 feet of my now current 60 feet of movement, so I have 55 feet left, and I am just gonna book it in the opposite direction of where I last saw the shadow of the dragon run.
Yep.
I am going to take this clearly really important thing
Yeah.
as far away from that dragon as I
Just
can.
running.
Actually, in which direction? The dragon was down there because the blades have stopped whirling now too, right?
They're slowing down. Yeah. Actually, no, it stopped. So they fully stopped. Yeah. They've just ceased because it's magic. Because it's magic. Because it's not physics.
Forget about inertia.
Yeah. All the inertia was actually pumped into the crystal. You know, that was.
So wait, this crystal.
Are we still doing phrasing?
I mean, you can ask.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it was Thad's Arcana roll, so shouldn't table talk it.
Yeah, no, I think that as like all of the now having, so I think from the experience of Thad, right? He's just seen Harold like command. Somebody who's never trained in magic shouldn't be commanding that much magic. A dragon just landed, and as I see and remember kind of from my like all of the stuff that I didn't have access to because I wasn't paying attention, but now I have this recall. This thing might be able to seal an errant evil god up, and immediately I think of the Dragon Queen, snatch it, and I'm like, this is why the dragon's here. This is maybe what our like whole even purpose is, to distract the dragon, and so I just grab it and I run.
Hell yeah. So you're just running. Love it.
And I make it to like there. That's like 55 feet.
Cool. And that's going to be your turn, which brings us to Bubo. Afterwards, we have Squeak Noir, the refugees. Dilk is a non-entity at this point, and then the dragon.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Dionysus is like, what? Who called my name? Jeez Louise.
Fire arrow or like tracer round ability or anything like that could light up the dragon for the rest of the party, does he?
Me?
No, Bubo. You have fireball, but you can't see the dragon. You're just as likely to hit Aelric.
Yeah, I mean, you're just talking about some sort of something that would mark him for others to be able to see him, right? Is that the?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I could hit him with something like I have something like Chaos Bolt that could hit him, but you just kind of see where he was as I hit him, not any, not any time after kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't have fairy fire or any sexy stuff like that. So, by the way, 7 million years ago, I did roll my wisdom saving throw at the end of the last turn. If you scroll up, you'll see that I rolled, I think I rolled a 19 on it. So I'm no longer afraid of this thing.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do the classic sharpshooter with advantage because I'm in the dark. Same thing. Two shots sharpshooter at him with hunter's mark and advantage.
Yeah, is this I just just perception checks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was just looking at because dark vision means like blackness counts as dim light, which is just a disadvantage on perception checks, so it's still fine for attacks. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So sharpshooter once. And that's gonna
21
hit.
hits.
I'm just gonna see if I get a crit on the second attack. Okay, so the first one hits,
and
then I'm gonna do another one with advantage. Oh god, there was a 20 for just a second there.
Right.
Oh gosh. Come on, man.
14 and a 7. So the second attack doesn't hit. Your first one will.
First one hits. And then I'm just going to do 1d6 for sneak attack and 1d6 for
hunter's mark.
Hunter's mark, exactly.
Nice.
Okay, that's good. I've been rolling good with the thing. So another 28 damage
28
on him.
Amazing. These arrows are just finding like the most vulnerable spots on this tank like dragon.
Yeah. And just because I shot like 3 times from the same position, kind of whatchamacallit, I'm gonna just say like, sniper 101, you never keep your position. I'm just gonna move in the darkness.
Hell yeah. Amazing. That's your turn?
That's my turn, man.
Cool. Leaving us with Squeak Noir, who I don't think anyone sees except for maybe Bubo, because it's total blackness and he's the size of a rat. But he says, "Come, my trusted steed." And the little cat runs under him. He leaps on while moving in that like sexy Legolas style, just like jumping onto the cat as it runs. And
uses the whisker to like.
Yeah, exactly. He just like grabs it and throws himself up and around, and the two of them launch themselves. Harold, you feel them actually like right beside you, pretty much, just like this little cat, just like. And you hear the little Squeak Noir going, "If today is the day I die, it is a good day." And that is Squeak Noir's turn, as he's going to dash, running all the way south. And leads us to the elven refugees, which are absolutely panicked in the blackness. They start firing in all directions. I'm just going to call as a DM, because they have absolutely no vision, that they miss. Dilk is hiding as a mouse. Which brings us to our dragon. Aelric. Even with your head down, bowed in pitch blackness, you can feel the weight and size of this thing that is standing in front of you, which is a feeling that changes as all of a sudden the massive weight and breadth of what is in front of you shrinks and reduces, and you feel almost a familiar hand touch you on the shoulder, and you see coming, leaning down into your face, is a face that you recognize. It is a face of another blue dragonborn.
I know your kind. Too well. I remember your kind, Tiamaticus. I know your heart. Say what you will. Your allegiances are set by fate.
And with that, he's actually gonna, out of his back. No, this is like, looks like almost, now it's so like you can barely see your own hand in front of you, but he has pulled his face right down in front of yours, and it looks so close to be almost familial. You are getting like memories of your uncle and your parents and members of your family, is how similar this face is to yours. And as it says those words in Draconic, it pulls away into the blackness, and you hear wings unfurl and flap as it pulls away and flies away, and is going to dash 160 feet away to the south in the form of a blue dragonborn, because it can change its shape. But only Aelric and Bubo would be able to see that.
You just moved me, dude.
Oh, I just moved you? No. The other one that looks like you.
I can't tell them. They all look the same.
Yeah, they all, yeah,
they all look the same.
They all look the same.
Just
That's
racist.
racist. You can't say that.
It's like the actual definition of racist. Like these are actual different races. You know, as opposed to our racism, which is
They all look
super
the
weird.
same,
It's
therefore
retarded
we're being
statement.
assholes.
Amazing. Aelric, as it leaves, you would have an opportunity attack, and it is your turn next. It would be with disadvantage, but you would have an opportunity attack if you want.
I'm like sweating.
You know.
You're on, Sean.
Elric does not attack. And instead pulls the lashes of his breastplates free and turns to reveal his back.
To reveal those newly sprouting wings.
Yeah.
You know my kind. You don't know me.
You carry the
Becoming
mark.
more of you than them.
You carry the mark of a pure blood. Good. Very good. I look forward to our bout.
And he runs away. You still have an action and a bonus action if you choose, Aelric?
I just get off the ground.
Cool.
And start walking back towards the thing, grabbing my armor, and then walking back towards the thing.
Cool. Walk 30 feet north. That takes us, actually, you get all the way until you, like, literally, like, running almost into you. I mean, cats have dark vision. But the cat, mounted with little Squeak Noir, comes and, like, dives between your legs and then turns around. And Squeak Noir's like, have we already defeated the enemy? Very good. With that, it's going to be Jelzuel's turn. Jelzuel does also have, if anyone remembers from our past, Jelzuel does have his own voice. It was a pretty silly voice. I don't even know if I still have it. Oh.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do right here.
What are we to do now? I'm not sure. I can't see anything.
Are we still in initiative, Koi?
We're still technically in initiative just because I want to get to Juniper's turn. And Jelzuel is going to... What can he do? Oh, what is... That you choose? Okay, Jelzuel is going to... roll... Wait a minute, so it must take a... Okay, hell yeah. Jelzuel's going to roll and cast a spell. And...
Power word kill on the dragon.
Oh, okay.
Dancing lights.
So, Jelzuel attempted to cast Scrying on the retreating dragon, but it is able to wisdom saving throw so that he cannot basically magically track the dragon. That was an attempted cast. Yeah, and then Juniper's turn. This is probably going to drop us out of initiative, but I wanted to give you a last chance in initiative, Arlie, if you so choose to do something specific while we still have an opportunity.
Sure. Yeah, I did like Arlie heard that again, that back and forth, right? Like the last time. And then I feel like I just actually didn't hear Sean clearly. What did he? I just would love the clarification on, because Arlie would have heard. So I don't want to do something that doesn't make sense. But something. What did Elric say about? Or maybe you've messaged.
You knew who I was, but not who I'm becoming. I am less of who you know and more of you.
Okay, great. Okay, so Arlie is just gonna look like Arlie's just got like a super confounded look on her face, and she's gonna move her full. Kenders have dark vision, so she can see Elric, and she's gonna move her 25 feet southwards towards him, and then she's gonna be like, in Draconic, she's just gonna shout to him like, my most sincerest apologies. And so Elric, you need to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 16. And she's gonna channel, what's it called? Channel divinity, read thoughts. And she's just gonna try to get into Elric's head because she's weirded. I'm like, she's thinking like he's just made a deal with a dragon.
Oh, interesting.
She's just like, she thinks something like she's heard the conversation and she's not.
Elric can always. Elric, you can always choose to fail a saving throw at any point. Anyone in D&D can always choose to fail. But you did roll 14. I don't know if that's enough to pass.
It's not. So.
Okay, so it's not even enough to pass even. Okay, yeah.
So she is suddenly super paranoid that like he's on the dragon side. Like that he just somehow like, so that's anyway, but I think the spell doesn't, I don't know if it describes what is on a success.
Yeah, just tell me what I can and cannot share from the recesses of my mind.
It just says on a failure, you can read surface thoughts while within 60 feet. Like for a minute. So it's surface thoughts, like, so it wouldn't be like deep thoughts, but it would be like if there was a thought but there might be no thoughts. There might just be.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so you hear something in the nature of, well, that went well. I would have never thought, but that went well. Maybe I should listen to Harold more often.
Amazing.
It's just like,
I love it. The most casual thought. That went pretty well. That went pretty well.
So she's just gonna be like, sorry,
you said
my
surface.
bad.
You said
Love
surface,
it.
so I had to pick the most superficial thing I could think of.
Like, well, that tells me
there's a
nothing.
lot
And she's just gonna
stirring in
cancel
there.
the channel divinity. She's just gonna shut it down. She's just gonna
Shut it down. Amazing.
Very invasive.
with that, I'm gonna say that we are out of combat.
Vikavar in the chat saying surface thoughts are free. The save is for whether you can read a secret.
Oh.
It doesn't say that in D&D Beyond.
Okay, yeah. Well, Vikavar,
No, that sounds legit.
love it. Let's honor that.
I would
So in
totally
that case,
Vikavar with all my rolls.
All right, so the deeper thought was that Aelric was using a strategy to try to weaken Takisis's hold on the most powerful aspects of their army.
Okay.
Learning,
Cool. We're also
learning.
Vikavar's. Sorry.
Yeah, go on then.
It's not detect thoughts, Vikavar. It's channel. It's a knowledge cleric, read minds, channel divinity thing. So it's not. So the secret thing, it's out. Sorry, Sean. I've misled.
Okay.
I've misled you. But so I just been like, sorry for making you reveal your character's game plan.
I don't care.
Probably could have just asked you in character.
I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some questions when I get back to the campfire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was initiative, and if you were pulling one,
somebody. All right.
Amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, so I just get the surface thoughts.
No,
You just wait for the campfire, and he's always willing to give you like cool stuff in hushed tones.
But if it had been like a sneaky situation, then it would be.
Yeah. Still cool. Still pretty cool. Still pretty cool. Yeah, so unless someone wants to try to pursue this fleeing creature through the blackness, we are going to drop out of initiative. And if we want to do that, that'd be kind of a separate thing. Bubo probably would be the only one capable of doing it competently. Do you want to go by yourself and chase this guy down?
Yeah, no. I mean, there's a part of me that does, kind of thing. But like, no, of course not. No,
I mean, if you do, that would be a cool way to end the session, to just be like, Bubo's gone. Like he's on the hunt. And everyone's left kind of like, what do we do?
I would have like advantage tracking it and all kinds of stuff. It's it's a pretty.
I would not be against Bubo just being like, I'll be back, and just.
I would be back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the weird thing is that, to tell you the truth, the weird thing is I'm not really understanding this blackness that's around me. So if it's something that's attached to grouped and he can turn it off, then I'm dead. You know what I mean? Like as long as I'm in the complete pitch dark blackness and attacking him, I think I know the rule of the jungle when predator becomes prey. It turns pretty quickly. I'm not gonna follow it. And there's plenty to learn on the ground. I think I've seen passively some of the stuff going on down there.
Amazing, yeah. So in that case, there's a stillness that falls in the darkness, and we're out of initiative. As time starts to pass, everyone's able to find themselves back in the center. I think in the end, only about 3 elven refugees were killed.
I'm running 60 feet.
I would just like to say
into the darkness, man.
That is just
know that the dragon is
beelining.
gone. I am running at 6 miles per hour away.
Fucking straight bolting it. Yeah, I guess so. We're right near the end of our session, but I just want to kind of get us set up for the next and kind of end in a good spot. As we kind of come together, the arcane crucible has wound down, and after a few minutes, the darkness and the shadows pass and leave back in a afternoon twilight, a kind of growing twilight, late afternoon light.
I would just like to say that Dionysus, realizing the fight is over, looks in the direction where they last saw the dragon and goes, "Coward!"
Nice.
That's it.
I love it. Dissonant whispers, coward.
You bitch.
It's still pitch black, right?
In a few minutes, the blackness leaves. Because we're kind of now back into a middle ground. Unfortunately, that little combat took our whole session tonight. That's the nature of combat in D&D. But I'm happy to give just a couple minutes. It can be kind of in character and or table talk, just as an idea for our audience and also for me. What are we hoping to kind of do
next in the next, like, going to a different place? Is there anything that we're looking towards away from?
Well, someone's got to stop Thad. I think that's the first level of business.
We'll figure it out.
What do you mean?
He'll get
What do you mean?
lonely eventually and turn around.
Well, we need to go back to the map. Can we go back to the map? I mean, I think that we should. We know where we need to be going. So I
Yeah,
think that we should-
let's end on the map. I wanted to show the map before the end of this session. The combat took longer than I wanted, but that's fine. We can still look at the map. So this is the map of the Northern Wastelands. It's the map of everything we've done so far in the game. Vogler is where we started. Kalaman is the big city. I have a little dot, like red dotted lines that show the path of the party. Over time, I also have little moments of like, that's where you found the raided caravan. That's where the Gnomish workshop was. That's where the Wheel Watch outpost was. The little circled dragons, those are the last times and your current understanding of where enemy forces are. So there's like enemy forces at Vogler, at the ambush site. There's Liar's Point was where that naval, naval enemies were. You are now at Exile's End. You have a little blue token in our campaign logo. And it was a 2 days journey from Wrecker's Edge to Exile's End, where we are. So this is kind of we're going to come back to this map probably. And next week, kind of figuring out where we want to go next as a party. Just as a reminder, the expeditionary force is still at Wrecker's Edge. The elves are with you. We now have a single Eternity Crystal held by Thad, who may return to the party at some point early in the next session, if they can track him down, or if he chooses to just go somewhere.
He's
who
in the
knows?
water, swimming
Yeah,
out.
exactly. Yeah. And we will be able to spend like a good amount of time like in character / out of character, like discussing kind of plans and excursions and talking about the new like the kind of real world stuff in terms of travel. We do use skill challenges for travel. I have a little customized version of that, which is basically you decide on a location you want to go to. I will be pointing out locations on the map that are like points of interest that you won't know what they are until you reach them. The number of hexes is the number of successes required to travel, and also the distance and time it will take. We'll discuss all that next week and all the details. The one thing that I'll give you as a heads up is that we are doing a version of gritty realism in the real world, which means when you are not with the expeditionary force, which can move, it just moves slowly. When you are outside of the expeditionary force, not in a safe location, you can only short rest. So even a full night's rest only counts as a short rest because it is just a very dangerous, unforgiving landscape. So the expeditionary force can move. It can move one large hex per day. You can give it orders of where to go. But if you are away from the expeditionary force, you won't be able to get the benefits of a long rest. But we'll talk about all those homebrews in between sessions to make sure we're cool. I'll give an overview for our audience when we come back next week as well of those little rules. And next week we will be returning. We survived the dragon. Incredible work. Nobody died, but neither did the dragon, which is always something. So let me, just as a great way to end up, let's do this.
We all get 6 levels.
That was an incredible, adventurous encounter with a dangerous dragon. Join us next week as we come back to the saviors of Vogler. What will they do next? Will they pursue the dragon? Will they return to the expeditionary force? And what of the refugees from Bumbo's homeland? We will find out next week. Same Legion time, same Legion channel.
That was all right. Okay, thanks everyone so much. This was great. Cabes, I'm going to beg you to come back next week if possible. Obviously, that's...
Free all month.
Oh, hell yeah. So, Caves back next week. Dionysus for another one for a non-combat. Let's see how you can pull it off. Yeah, boom, baby. Okay, thanks everyone. This was so great, so exciting to be back, and until next week.